This is Javier Blog 208 coming to you live from the Providence Place Mall. It's kind of dead here right now. We're just kind of, this is a friend of mine. What's your name one more time?
My name is Evan Pierre.
Evan Pierre.
Yeah, so we're going to sit down and talk about what's going on.
We're talking about the coronavirus crisis and kind of like what we kind of theorize is really going on behind it. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to explain your thoughts?
So right now, with the whole nation right now, there's going to be a food crisis going on pretty soon. So food, crops, and farmers are all getting their farms like shut down because of the virus. So no fresh food is going to be given out to the American people. So more food is going to be processed, and there's going to be no fresh food in the market. And it's all going to be staged. It's all going to be like a little event going on. So I'm telling you guys, like, please, like, stock up on as much food and water as possible before the whole crisis starts to get crazy. Because, you know, I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy theory, but, you know, how can it be a conspiracy when it's actually happening right now? And this is stuff I believe is happening right now in America. So I think it's better that we, you know, take action while, you know, it's not being talked about, and really like take the steps to prepare for this situation coming up, or it's actually happening right now. But I'm not talking on camera. So yeah, so there's gonna be a food crisis going on. Farms are shutting down, crops are getting shut down because of the virus to protect the people from getting sick and all that, which inevitably is going to lead to more people going crazy because they're not going to have fresh food. They're going to have more processed food. So it's all planned to mess with your mind to think, you know, this is supposed to be safe somehow, when, you know, you're not getting fresh food, you're not being taken care of correctly, you're not getting the right foods and right vitamins and minerals, you know, and you're all going to be given fake food instead. So it's important, you know, get as much fresh food, get seeds, start growing things, start stocking up on water as much as you can right now.
And you're saying that something big is going to happen in 2021, like in regards to this. And you're saying this is all going to start taking place in 2021, and you're talking about like how China's creating an artificial sun or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know the deep details about it, but supposedly China is making artificial sun for a reason I had at the moment but left my mind. But that's what's going on down there. And later on, on December 21st, there's going to be a solar flare going on. And all electronic systems, phones, TVs, and everything is going to be shut down because of the solar flares mess with electronic systems. So there's not going to be any power for over a week. And when this happens, they're going to say it's going to be a nuclear explosion, nuclear bomb, which is not the case. And I would say to get books, get things to entertain yourself, get candles, and, you know, get ready for this. You know, it's going to be crazy.
And how do you know all this stuff is going to be happening?
Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not getting the information internally, because I'm into spirituality, and I watch a lot of spiritual videos, different people I follow on the internet that talk about these same things, and there's all a correlation where it connects. They talk about the same things, and it translates to real life, how it's happening right now, and it makes sense to me. So I'm not saying, you know, you should believe what I'm saying, but what is happening is undeniable. So all I'm saying is, you know, is what's going to happen whether you believe it or not. So it's all about the universe, and it's all about, you know, crap. Lost my train of thought what I was going to say.
It's fine.
Yeah. And then Yeah, just get ready, prepare, because the situation is building up, and so it's finally going to be on the news at the last moment. So all I'm saying is prepare, while you can, because once it happens, it's I'm not gonna say it's game over, but you left a sitting duck because you won't have any fresh food, you won't know what's going on. It's all crazy. It's all getting crazy, and you're just like all running around like headless chickens.
That's interesting because we were both listening to. I was listening to this pastor John Hagee. He was talking about how they were euthanizing millions of chickens, dumping millions of gallons of milk out by the gallon, getting ready to kill fat cattle all over the country, just intentionally wasting food. And this is not just like coming from him. This is like I've heard this in the news since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis. How they're just intentionally killing produce, and whether it's produce, whether it's livestock, meat, or vegetable, how they're just intentionally wasting it for reasons related to the COVID-19 crisis, which is really something that I'm trying to figure out why they're doing that. I mean, it comes down to probably something having to do with fear of getting sick or something like that, logically. Because I understand that I saw an article, I think back in April, where a farmer was getting ready to just slaughter 1 million chickens for no reason. This was an actual news article. Like this wasn't from a conspiracy site or anything. It was from like a news article. So it's just like, just to think this is still happening, and the fact that it's still happening is staggering. And then we're just seeing more and more stuff on the news. Things are just getting worse and worse and worse. As we, in my belief, get closer to the return of Christ. But anyway, it's like, it's just all, really coming down. And what are your thoughts on the actual, specifically the COVID-19 crisis you were mentioning earlier?
So I personally don't believe in the virus, because originally my thinking was, if I was gonna die and get sick and die, I'd rather do it not in fear and live my life not in fear. And if I die, that's it. I'm dead. At least I did what I wanted in the moment. But then as the months and time went on, I went outside, and I also skateboard. So I would skateboard around town. I was around people. I showing the people everything was fine. I never got sick. I never wore a mask personally because I wanted to breathe fresh air. And when I did wear a mask, I found that for me personally, I couldn't breathe correctly, because when I wear a mask, my breathing is limited and I'm not breathing in fresh air. It's kind of like, a laptop or anything like a PS4 or a game system without ventilation, As you're using that system, you are working the computer. It needs to have some way of exhausting that heat, and so the fan can cool down, And if that air stays trapped within you, and you're just breathing in all carbon dioxide back
breathing in your own air, breathing in your own, cough, all that stuff, because they make you want to keep the mask on. They encourage that. Like when you cough, you can't do this anymore. You have to cough in your mask. They want you to do that. It's like, but that's, in my opinion, I've repeatedly said that's toxic.
Yeah.
To have to breathe it, to sneeze and then breathe it back in, or to cough and then breathe it, it's toxic.
It's bad for the respiratory system, whether you believe it or not. I mean,
and that in itself can get you sick.
Yeah. So that way they can, once you're sick and you're in the hospital, they can claim it's coronavirus, when it's actually you getting sick because of them wanting you to wear this thing, I mean, I only wear it because, I'm working right now, but I personally don't believe in the virus, I've had a roommate that had it, and I still spoke with him like everything was fine.
Who tested positive, right?
Yeah, who tested positive, and he had to be on quarantine for a couple of weeks. And after he supposedly, they told him the virus was gone, he can go back to work. Even then, nothing ever happened to me. I was healthy the entire time. Some people tell me, I just got lucky.
I did not clock myself out for my 70s.
So that So yeah, I personally do not believe in the virus. I feel like the virus is a fear tactic so everybody can go get vaccinated and be controlled internally.
Forced vaccinations.
Vaccinations is a fear tactic. This whole situation is a fear tactic, in my opinion. And you can believe what you want to believe. This is what I believe. It's what I believe is going on right now. So take that for a grain of salt. All I'm saying is do not get vaccinated.
You know, I was on a ship coming back from on a cruise on a boat coming back from Provincetown, and I had a very similar conversation with this other guy. This happened This happened back in August, and he was saying that the vaccines are. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you what he was saying, that the vaccines are essentially microchips that they're trying to put in you, and that's ultimately what it's going to lead up to. I can't, I don't take my word for it. I'm just quoting what he's saying.
There's a bathroom upstairs, like in Dave and Buster's, and also in the movie theater.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's bathroom. Yeah. Anyway, also he told me about this book called The Pale Horse. And then he told me to look at, I forgot, there's this book that was written like a long, long time ago called The Pale Horse, I think in like the 1930s or something. And then he told me to look at page either 44 or 444, one of those pages. It was a 4 number, so it was either a double or triple 4. You can check both. And then he says you're going to see exactly what's happening today in that book. So it's just very eye-opening. I haven't read that book. I haven't checked the book out myself, but I kind of want to. I've been meaning to go see it, try to read the book. Not read the book, but at least find it. And it's just something that's, mind-opening. But, at the end of the day, if there are people, who did, really die from this virus, I really, my sincere condolences. But the 200,000 number is just really, really unfathomable it's hard to believe, right? Really hard to believe. We don't, like you said, there's not people out there like, dying in the streets or anything, right? It's just things are normal, pretty much. It's like, everything feels normal, right?
Yeah, because I see every day, people are gathering in large groups, people are having parties, and earlier today I was coming to work and I just seen like a little like outside restaurant type thing, like looking like a little event outside where there was like a bunch of people huddled together that were definitely not 6 feet apart. It's like, even in my area that I live in, every weekend there's like a little like street festival where people will be eating outside the restaurants, walking around, and be able to like eat and dine like outside in the area where the streets gets closed and everybody can walk around and stuff. And it wasn't the whole point of the virus, was just to keep people separated. Some things doesn't make sense. And if it was such a big issue, why are people having like events, having parties, getting like together in like large groups, which is what shouldn't be happening if it was that serious, Like, I don't know. It's just, some things just don't make sense to me personally. That's why I don't believe in it. So, for the people that did die, I don't know how to answer those situations. But in my opinion, I feel like it was something else. They're just calling it COVID-19 just to make you believe this thing's going on. It could be something else, Not every cough or sneeze is COVID. Maybe you're just having, seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you have maybe you have like a little cold, maybe you have like a little cough. It could be, you're getting like a small seasonal cold. It could be something small, and not everything is COVID-19, They're just telling you that to scare you, I don't believe in it personally. Oh, and also I gotta head out because I gotta go take care.
What's the name of your YouTube channel you want to tell?
If you guys want to follow my YouTube channel, search Evan Pierre. That's EVAN, and Pierre, PIERRE. You guys want to follow?
Well, have a good night, dude. Thanks for making the video.
Get a help.
Thanks for watching, folks. Javier Blog 208. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.